Hi, I'm Jacob with National Fleet Products, and today we will be demonstrating the install process for the WM Systems Non-Swivel loading ramps in a Ford Transit. This video will apply to all versions of the Ford Transit, encompassing all wheelbase lengths and roof heights. However, there are two exceptions. If your van happens to be equipped with the rear AC unit on the driver's side or a power pack panel in the E-Transit on the passenger side, you would have received different mounting plates than you're going to see today. However, the install instructions are the same, so please follow along. Today's video is the first in a three-part series. This video will cover the installation of the mounting hardware. The second video will cover the installation of the loading ramp and the necessary adjustments. The third video will cover the operation, as well as we'll take some measurements of the space required for the mounting plate and the ramp inside the cargo van. The hardware we're demonstrating today is our new optional no-drill hardware. With this design, no drilling into the vehicle's body is required, which differs from the standard install for non-swivel loading ramps. There are 4 reasons to consider using this new optional hardware. First and foremost, no drilling is required. It's awesome. Second, this hardware allows the ramp to be repositioned across the rear threshold. Third, it allows the ramp to be quickly and easily removed on demand. And fourth, if you do happen to remove the ramp, this is a robust mounting plate made from 1/4-inch steel, and it will double as a heavy-duty rear threshold protector. To complete the installation, there are only a few tools required. First and foremost, you'll need an impact wrench. Next, you're going to want to have a 3/16 Allen key, and I like to have this on a socket. There's 2 standard socket sizes you'll be looking for. You'll want to have a 1/2-inch socket as well as a 5/8 socket. And lastly, you're going to want to have a crescent wrench, also a 5/8. Using these simple tools, that's all it's going to be required to install this mounting hardware in about 10 minutes. Now let's talk about preparing the cargo area for install. If your vehicle came supplied with a factory rear plastic threshold that does need to be removed permanently, it will not be reused. Our mounting hardware will entirely replace it. Next, if you happen to have been supplied with the rear D-ring tie-down points on the driver and the passenger sides, you'll want to remove them and set them aside. They will be reused in the installation. However, if your van was not provided these D-ring points, we have supplied alternative bolts to be used in lieu of them. Next, let's look at our flooring situation. If you happen to have a bare metal floor with nothing here, congratulations, move on to the next step. No alterations are needed. However, if you were supplied, as we are here, with a factory supplied rubber vinyl mat, what you can do is you can take the mounting plate, assemble it, and set it here. Take note of how far in the mounting plate extends, and what you'll want to do is peel back some of this sound deadening insulation. Then you can trap that rubber mat underneath the plate to create a seamless transition. And our goal here is not to have that insulation underneath the plate so as not to lift or raise it. Alternatively, you might have been supplied with a wood floor. If that's the case, similar process. You want to take your mounting plate, set that on here, and mark the leading edge, remove the hardware, trim or cut back that wood floor so that when the plate is installed, it meets up for a seamless edge. Now we're ready to begin the installation of our mounting hardware. The first plate to reach for is going to be this small square plate. You'll notice there's 3 holes that have been drilled and tapped, and these can be slightly offset to the left. That is the correct orientation. And what we need to note is this plate is used in multiple install applications. For today's install, we are only going to be using these bottom 2 holes. You're going to take this plate, again, slightly offset to the left, and insert it right here into the body cavity. The next plate to reach for is a slightly larger square one. It's going to have 2 countersunk holes. These holes are going to mate up right here with this access point through the body. You're going to line that up and go ahead and take the longer, these 2 bolts that were provided, and you're going to grab your 3/16 on your impact and go ahead and tighten these up. You don't want to have them completely tight, but mostly tight. This plate still needs to move so they can mate up with our other plates later, and we'll show you how that looks. There you go, just like that, and you'll notice our plate is still loose enough to be repositioned for later. Now we're ready to install our larger mounting hardware. You'll see here a passenger and a driver's side plate. These simply slip into position. And the center mounting plate. You will notice that this has been cut out for access for the spare tire key. That will help make sure you have the correct orientation. You want to just simply get this placed here in the middle. Once they've all been pressed in together, you can go ahead and take 4 of the countersunk small bolts and your 3/16 Allen. Go ahead and take one of these and place one in each of the corners here. That's going to help align our mounting hardware. I should have mentioned, I don't want you to torque these bolts down very tight yet. They will have to be removed shortly to align that plate we sandwiched here underneath. Next, we're going to go ahead and install the D-ring tie-down points. Go ahead and grab your 1/2-inch socket and your D-rings and put one in the corner for each. Okay, now that our D-rings have been in, what that has done is it has pulled our mounting plate all the way to the rear so we know its final placement. And what this is going to allow you to do is going to allow you to line up this center plate with the one that we had sandwiched underneath. And what I like to do is I like to take that 5/8 crescent wrench, and this can be reached under, and you can poke that plate to allow it to be feathered back and forth. Make sure you get your threads all lined up nicely. And then what you can do to check that is go ahead and grab 2 more of those countersunk screws and throw them in kitty corner. There we go, great. We know we have our lower plate right here that's been sandwiched in the right orientation. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove these 2 as well as the 4 that we put in earlier, and we're going to take this center plate off. We'll move this plate very carefully forward. Remember, you don't want to have this lower plate get moved, so lift it off gently and set it aside. And you're going to want to tighten these 2 up in the middle here. We'll need a little more torque for that. This will be your final torque. It is going to be permanent. Go ahead and put a thumb on here and make sure that plate doesn't move around on you. Great. Now we can go ahead and reset our center mounting plate. And reattach all of the hardware. Okay, at this point, our plate has been assembled. We have all of our small countersunk screws installed. We've got 3 over here, 4 in the center, and the 3 over here. And it's time to begin our final assembly process. What you're going to look to do is remove these plastic access panels that are on both sides. These come off quite easily. You're going to want to go ahead and grab our larger bolts. You've got a bolt, 2 washers, and a nut. You want to go ahead and put this in. Your nut goes on the inside. You want to be careful not to drop anything into the body cavity. There is panels below that can be removed for access. And you'll take another bolt, and this one is going to go onto the back side right above your D-ring tie-down point. So it comes in right here, and again, the nut and the washer go on the inside. Go ahead and grab your 5/8 socket and your 5/8 crescent wrench and tighten those down. And proceed to the same thing on the passenger side. Okay, at this point, everything has been tightened down, but I would like to ask you to go ahead and recheck everything. So go ahead and grab your 3/16 Allen and make sure everything here is tight. I would ask you to switch back to your 1/2-inch socket and make sure that those D-ring tie-down points are, again, still tight in those corners. And at this point, you can replace those plastic access panels. There you have it. We've completed the installation of the no-drill, non-swivel mounting hardware for a WM Systems ramp. This is everything you'll need to know, but questions might come up. If you have questions, please give us a call. We are here to help. Again, my name is Jacob with National Fleet Products. Thank you for watching.